Yo, what's going on? It's WrestlePurists Worldwide. We're back again. I'm joined by Joe Hulbert, Ibu, and Manny the Hooper. We're going to be talking some Royal Rumble. We're going to be talking the fallout from Royal Rumble, recent news. We're going to look at AEW's week ahead. We're going to do what we normally do at the start of the week here. So, first things first, Joe Hulbert, the veteran around here.
Oh yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm ready to grab some headlocks, you know what I mean? You know, throw a couple arm drags. teach the kids how to sell a little bit, shine them up some, make my comeback and go home. I'm fucking ready, man. Ready. It's Monday. It's been a great weekend. You know, I'm ready to go, man.
Ready for the week? Yo,
I am. I'm ready.
Love to hear it, bro. We're here for it. Ibu, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. In an hour and a half, the best wrestler in WWE is going to be live on television.
Damn, they got Gunter on over there.
The best babyface wrestler.
There you go. It works.
Yeah, there you go. I'm doing good, guys. I have a bad headache, but I'm okay. Can't complain. I'm happy to be with the worldwide crew, man. The core four.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Manny, as always, an interesting weekend you had on Twitter. You know, many conspiracies, many jokes were had, many feelings were hurt, all that shit.
People are still talking about it today.
How you doing?
Doing fine. I burned my hand making some salsa the other day.
Oh.
You know, you can't see it, but see it? A tomato just popped right on my hand. I said, "Fuck, man, that shit hurt." And then
that was a sign of things to come.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know what hurt more, the hand or seeing Cody come out, but I don't know what I expected when I turned on the Rumble, and I was like, I'm going to watch this pay-per-view. And then as soon as when I found out the men's Rumble, I said, I guess I'm going to spend 45 minutes of my time, an hour, watching the Rumble and turning it off right after.
45 minutes? 70.
Bro, I sat there and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this Cody shit a try. His entrance came on at 30.
So full of shit.
No, I was with the guys on Discord.
Okay.
And I was watching them with them, and then Cody came out and said, "Fuck, man, I'm gonna come. Guys, let me know when the thing's over. I'll come back." I never came back. I started watching Law and Order SVU. Next thing I know, it's 1:00, and I'm watching Tyler Black Ring of Honor matches.
Bro, there was a point during the pay-per-view where we're talking about it in the group chat, and Manny just randomly sending in like dark spoilers. You can tell he was just out of the Rumble, bro. Like, he just was
I kept
over the top rope. He was gone. Like,
I kept refreshing the Twitter feed for some dark spoilers. I said, "Oh fuck, man, this match looks nice." I got hyped when I saw Seidel with Top Flight and AR Fox. I said, "Oh man, look, we're cooking. They're against the Wingmen."
You fucker, man. The Wingman. That's too much. That's good shit, though. I respect it.
Manny to this day has not seen a single Seth Rollins Cody Rhodes match.
No.
He just outright protests. He just refuses to watch it.
how have you not seen the Hell in a Cell, bro? Like, especially with what you're into, like, the real warriors of wrestling. The animals out there.
It's the principle.
Where did it start? Bro? I don't remember where this started. Manny's deep. I remember Thunder Rosa. I remember X, Y, and Z. But Cody Rhodes, I don't know where.
Like
the origin story.
The Cody Rhodes started thing around. I think the last time I liked Cody Rhodes was after. No, it was before the Anthony Ogogo and Hennessy was Cody Rhodes, Anthony Ogogo.
Fair.
Yeah, fair.
That's a pretty good answer, actually.
Cody's 2021 was fucking nuts.
Insane. Yeah.
Feuding with QT, having a go-go match. Where is that guy, by the way?
Oh, I'll never forget that angle with QT and the bus, bro.
No, the weirdest thing he did
was amazing, Monty.
The thing where him and Pac were like a team that didn't want to be a team for the pay-per-view match was fucking insane. That's
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Bro, that match is an insane match, honestly.
You know what? We need to do some type of WrestlePurists special reviewing the Codyverse era. Like, we need to just
that could be fun.
It literally in order, just reviewing the matches and angles of the Codyverse era of 2021. Because that period, nothing made sense from top to bottom, but almost all of it was very entertaining. even if for ironic reasons. And most of the wrestling was good too. So that's the fun of Cody Rhodes to me. Like, this guy had a Brock Anderson tag at a random Dynamite that went nowhere. Like, you know,
I remember just him having that Bulls rope match or whatever at Miami show. I said, I can't believe this is what they're opening up the first time on the road on Pandemic. I said, I want to know what kind of fucking drugs Tony was on.
Him and Andrade had like this like nothing feud, and then they went off the air with Andrade doing something on the concrete, and the next week it was like they're just gonna do fire and bleed everywhere. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what are they even fighting about, man? I don't know.
Oh my! I'll never forget that. Cody busting out a flaming table for no reason in this 2-week program with Andrade, and it's just
because that program only happened because like Andrade was weirdly with Malachi. Remember there was that faction where it was Malachi, Andrade, and FTR were just like a faction for a few weeks. They like all together. And because like they were paying him, Andrade was paying MJF, and also was friends with Malachi. I guess I never really understood that part of it. And they were like a quartet for about 2 weeks. It was good times, man. A different time in all elite wrestling, folks.
You know,
I've decided Cody Rhodes needs to be on Raw Creative.
Yeah.
If that Pac and Cody versus Malachi and Andrade match happened in Ring of Honor in 2008, 2009, you know, we would be talking about it as an instant classic. But you know,
that's Sean brings up the Penta one. That's another classic one. Penta was just like a real piece of shit heel for like a week. Wrestled Cody. Cody like rolled him up. Man. Didn't sell his arm break gimmick. It was beautiful.
Didn't Abrahantes translate a promo for him? Yeah. It was basically like talking shit about his kid. Yeah. And he had a pull apart, and then there was no follow up to this at all.
Yeah. The angle started with Penta in a suit on commentary and just stood up and just started cussing him.
He was throwing shit at the wall, bro. Like he was just trying. Like he was just like, I can't.
That's also the match that got Danielson to come to AEW. Funny enough.
Right, yeah.
The thing is, most of these matches we're naming are like 3 and 3/4 star affairs, bro. Like they're good matches, bro. There's one more thing. There's a Codyverse tag with a lot of the people that ended up in the 4-way at Full Gear, and I think it was like a Thanksgiving Dynamite or something like that. And it's really good, right? It's like an 8-man tag. It's like this 8-man all-star Codyverse tag. So good. Yes. And then they were like, okay, we'll do a 4-way. Oh no, it wasn't a 4-way. It was a tag match. Or something. Yeah, tag at Full Gear, and then that match kind of sucked. I don't know what happened. I don't know what like changed.
It went like 20 minutes for no apparent reason.
It just wasn't good. Like it just wasn't good. I don't know.
Wasn't good. Yeah, man. Talking of Codyverse, there's the latest chapter in the Codyverse is 2023 Men's Royal Rumble winner. Do we think right choice? We're happy.
I mean,
we're satisfied. How we feeling?
I think the Sami Cody thing has just got like, such a life of its own at this point. It's like whatever, but I don't think I personally wouldn't be anything close to unhappy. I think he's a very fitting choice. I think him and Roman could be fucking awesome, and I think I have no issue whatsoever. I thought the match was tremendous. I like the match a lot. I saw that the men's rumble was kind of polarizing online. I thought it was really really good.
So did I. I thought it was a good time. It was really good.
I don't know.
Yeah, I love the men's rumble. I thought that more than other years, there were less outright shitters entering the Royal Rumble.
I agree.
And one of the big takeaways as I was watching, Monty, was for all the things you can say about Paul Levesque as a booker, and there's many good and bad. I think that he has done a better job of rehabilitating the roster in the sense that I remember last year, right? It was so like just depressing to see like non-entity and non-factor after non-entity and non-factor just come out there in this assembly line, and they don't matter. There's no chance they're going to win. You don't buy that they're going to win. And not to say that I had any real doubt that Cody wasn't going to win this match, but it did feel like more viable wrestlers are coming out, whether it be Sheamus or Bobby Lashley or Drew McIntyre or Gunther or Brock Lesnar. There were some real beasts in there, and so I enjoyed a lot of the interactions. I felt like a lot of these guys now have like upgraded their standing on the hierarchy, and that there's more players, so to speak. Whereas like a year and a half ago, it felt like there was like maybe 2 real main eventers and a bunch of fucking Jags who were 50-50 booked. So I enjoyed most of the Rumble. Brock Lesnar is just such a chaotic entity in wrestling. He was in the Rumble for like a minute, but it was pure carnage. He probably injured somebody. He was chaotic. He was scary. So that was good. And of course, the final portion with Gunther and Cody, I thought that piece of business was tremendous. Cody being 30 is like not optimal if you're trying to get a babyface over, but Gunther made him work so hard for it to the point where, like, when he did get him out, it did feel earned because Gunther felt like just the most unstoppable, formidable force on the planet.
He was unbelievable, man. Good.
He's amazing.
I'm not as well versed in Rumble history as you guys might be or might not be. I don't know, but like that may be my favorite Rumble performance. What Gunther did on Saturday, I thought he was just incredible. And the way that he sold, like the way it depleted him, the endurance element, the way he always felt present in the match to me too. I thought it was an incredible performance from Gunther. I mean, obviously it's not a surprise. That's what he is, and that's who he's been for the longest time. But spectacular show, and I thought we had. There you go. I don't know.
He's just a beast, Monty. Like, didn't you tell me that like you thought like it was like one of the best Rumble performances you've ever seen?
Yeah, it might be number one. I'd have to do a bit of rewatching.
Yeah,
right.
Messing around and stuff.
I'm disappointed in Gunther.
But even in the
how does he like Brock Lesnar's like hit me, and then Gunther's just.
Well, he had to wait for Bobby Lashley's music to hit.
Yeah, that was a timing thing, Yeah. It wasn't ideal,
Do you guys think that was Brock saying, "Let me test this guy and see if he's actually real"? Like, let me give him a chance to prove it to me.
I genuinely think that match is like a thing that we can be confident is going to happen because he strikes me as kind of like Paul Lee has talked about a lot to Brock. Because Paul Lee's always on alert for guys that he thinks Brock can make money with, right?
Yes, he is.
He can make a lot because Gunther's unique, man. Because he has like the monster element, and he's like this killer heel, but he also has the best matches in the promotion. He do it all. He's just and we did this like a week ago, so I don't want to keep, but like fuck, man. Also, before you mentioned Sheamus turned 45 on Saturday, man.
Mm-hmm. No way.
He's incredible. That dude is so reliable. When he was in that Rumble, I was captivated throughout when he was in the Rumble because every time someone came in, he would come over and try and whack him and brawl with him, and he's just great. Really fun wrestler. So, yeah.
The two things that popped me during the Rumble I watched was Tyler Black and Gargano having a takeover sequence in the middle of the ring, and then the other was what was it? It was Chad Gable and Xavier Woods doing
shooting on the mat.
Ring of Honor. Yeah, doing a shoot. Amateur match.
Come from?
Doing pure rules in the middle of the Rumble.
Yeah, they're doing an ROH Pure Rules match in the middle of the ring, and I said, "Fuck, man, this is what I live for." Those two little sequences, and then that's how my enjoyment ended.
Yeah, it was good shit.
That was hilarious because they did that, right? And like WWE cameras, Mr. Kevin Dunn, after 2 seconds of that, he was like, "I know that shit." And he just switched to like a different corner of the ring where the guys are just like slowly punching when these guys are literally doing some beast amateur match stuff. And Dunn was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good on that."
Cody brought back a classic Rumble play on Saturday. I don't know if everyone played. Back in the day, guys used to have more of an art form when it came to like wasting time in the corner of a ring for a Rumble. It's not as good anymore. Bro, Cody threw someone over him, like, the guy wasn't going to get eliminated, so they were just killing time. And Cody started punching the dude's hands as he held onto the ropes, like started punching the dude's knuckles. And I was like, God, man, that's real graps. That is some real wrestling horse shit right there.
Yeah, that's what you got to look out for. That's how you spot the real wrestlers. You keep an eye out in the Royal Rumble for those little 40 seconds in between the entrance, like before the new person comes in and gets their shine, before the stare downs, just that weird moment where everyone's just kind of doing nothing. There was a moment in the Rumble quite early on where just like a random chop battle broke out in between Gunther and Sheamus.
Happened a lot, yeah.
Here's like some guys when the camera's not really on them and it's not really their cue, they're just gonna kind of fuck around and slow punch a little bit, like kind of grab on each other. And then there's the guys who like they know the camera isn't even on them and it's not their spot, and they're still like, let's have a fucking strike exchange. It's like and it's like the Sheamuses and Gunther.
Sheamus and Drew were both great in that regard. And obviously Gunther, that goes without saying. But Drew I loved that Sheamus and Drew deal, man. I don't know. I saw
they're a good duo.
He did like a tweet that Did he do a tweet they're done as a team or something? I don't know. Someone said that to me, but I think
Okay,
they're an
okay.
awesome team.
So I'll tell you why. There's been some creative restructuring of the Elimination Chamber and Mania lineups, and there's a very good chance that they're going to be in the three-way with Gunther coming up,
Oh, yeah.
or Gunther is going to be defending the IC title in a chamber match, and so for that to happen, they have to split the Banger Bros to be in the match. So something along those lines. Yeah.
If they're going to do that at Mania, it would be. I think you probably have to do the deal with Sheamus winning it, right, and finally getting that last belt. I think. I don't know. I mean, I think after what you did at Clash and the SmackDown rematch, paying that off would be pretty cool at WrestleMania. Honestly,
Joe, you know what that smells like if they do a three-way? That smells like Hunter going, Gunther, brother, and he's not gonna eat a pin. Yeah. He's gonna fucking rocket ship the fuck out of that guy into the main event scene of a.
I'm for it, man. Him and Cody is. That's fucking big time, man. I'm really excited for that. I can't. That program's gonna be serious.
Man, he's getting. Hey, listen, Monty and Joe.
Cody's gonna have come out like Vader and all that, and he's gonna be like. They're gonna just redo 91 Starcade or whatever. Just
exactly.
And
you're gonna pretend. Yeah, and you're gonna pretend it's not. You know.
I
pretend it's not real.
I wouldn't watch it.
Here's the thing, Monty. Like, I know we all respect Roman Reigns. I love the character of Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? I think he has had some great matches, but let's be real. Cody and Gunther will be much more reliable pay-per-view performers from an in-ring standpoint than Roman, in the sense that, like, you can just count on them to kind of just be, like, consistently, like, tremendous. And so the prospect of Cody title defenses and or Gunther title defenses is very exciting. And I already know how it's going to go. Because we saw it at the Rumble, bro. We didn't. None of us talked about this. Gunther's chopping Cody's like restructured pec. And you're like, no, his back. and he's grabbing you like, my titty.
The best one was when Gunther was like thrown over the rope but not to the floor yet, and Cody goes for the what's it called, the disaster.
Hello.
Gunther clubs him down out of the air, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my
But yeah, man, we got a few super chats. Of course, as always, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Super chat is feeling generous, always much appreciated, especially from Bam. As always, $5. What's that meant to say? Can we post media scrum? What does that? What's that? Who's that in the background? Someone's in the background of someone's camera. Is it Manny?
I was thinking, there's no way that shit's as loud as it sounds in my ear. I must be imagining it. She was fucking loud, man.
It was a psyop, man. Like,
I was sitting there thinking, that shit's loud. Go ahead.
See, this one, I don't know what he's going for. Is it can we post or what?
I think he's saying can wrestling media scrums just fuck off?
Oh yes. Yes, I hope so.
Always same thing for both companies. Monty, happy for your son winning the Rumble. I'm proud of him. You know.
Well, you know,
You're
talking about media scrums.
Dickhead cum guzzler at comicbook.com here. Great show tonight. What was going through your mind when you put together this great show?
Yeah, that's been an interesting conversation today. Definitely something I was glad was.
I think it's so boring to me. I think it's because obviously, like, because I'm so like in the bubble and I follow every fucking news reporter and and I see like so much after every single one, bro. And it's like, why are people moaning after every single one when it happens every single time? Like, what are you expecting? Then also at the same time, like, why are the people in media biting so much, bro? Like, just fucking.
It's the same conversation every single time, man.
I think it's rooted. So it's because some of the criticism is true, even though it's repetitive. And I think that the media people are insecure about it because they don't want to be seen as just straight up dick riders. You know what I mean? Or like just straight up like glorified fans with websites that just want to access. But ultimately, if some account just goes like, why did none of you chumps ask Hunter about A, B, and C? The truth is, I think they're gonna just get defensive over it and stuff like that. But the way I see it, and I get Monty's perspective because it is a circular conversation, But to me, they just kind of are what they are. These, whether it be AEW or WWE, they're literally just glorified the booker goes out there to kind of hang out with the media and like take a victory lap and get his messages out, whatever they are, and be complimented by the media. Like they're literally there to get complimented. You know why Vince didn't do them? Because his shows are bad. So like
when they turn the lights down for Bray, that's listen.
I don't know. This is. I was trying to get
questions, but that's a step too far. Don't take the piss out of me. You know what I mean? You don't turn the fucking lights down, bro.
So that's all it needs, bro. That's all it needs. One of them, when those lights come down, one of them just be like, "Come on, man,
come on now."
Like, fuck off,
Manny. What you gonna say? I'm sorry, mate.
No, I wanted to do the media scrum. Not the one, not for the past Ring of Honor show, but the. I think it was going to be for this past one. Yeah. And my question was going to be to Tony was about the Briscoes and why weren't they on TV? I was finally going to ask him, and like if all about that stuff, and then I never got the pass.
Yeah,
which was disappointed. I was going to ask that. I was going to ask that, or where's Todd Sinclair?
Oh,
good question. Good question.
What I would like to see if they're going to continue these semi-kayfabe, just farcical scrums. Is I would love to see Gunther just yelling at the media. Like I want him to just be like, I don't care. I do not like being here. I don't have any interest in your questions. I'm an athlete. This is a great sport. This is a mat that's sacred. And fuck all of you for ruining this sport. And they can just leave it. Just something like that. Like just
I see our very own Chris Alvarez in the chat, and we were just talking about this before we did Fleet Week on Late Night Green about the lights out deal, and right, I'm not like a big Bray Wyatt fan. He seems like a really, really good guy. But him walking up there and being like, "Good to get that one in there," you know, like bro, God bless him, man. He seems like good people. But him sitting down and like, another win. You know what I mean? Like,
yo, Joe. Someone tweeted about like how elite of a carny this man is. Because think about this, right? He comes back. And he gets paid to not wrestle for like 4 months, does the deal. It's like 5 minutes, takes 2 bumps, makes his brother take the big psycho bump, and then calls it a day. He's like, oh, man, this Mountain Dew pitch black, brother. It's a good
He's on. So, I don't know if you saw him talk about Alexa, but he was like, we're connected forever. Fucking, what are we talking about here, man?
How many, seriously, how many bumps is he going to take before Mania, from now to Mania?
None, bro. There's none. None. Bro, he's building to a match with Uncle Howdy, dude.
Yo, it's gonna be like fucking Uncle Howdy versus Bray Wyatt in a Powerade Zero match.
Manny, what do you think of Uncle Howdy?
Shit.
we were talking before the show. Ivy, you weren't here yet, but we were talking about that. I was so in awe, and no one else seemed to think this was as funny as I did. But the fact that Uncle Howdy threw himself off of the stage scene, and then one match later he just did a pre-tape.
Oh!
Why was it that way around? I didn't understand that.
No. I thought you were gonna say the bump itself was so funny to me.
That goes without saying.
Like that, bro.
Everyone agrees on that.
That was like a Simpsons scene or something.
Bro, he did that, and like 15 minutes later, he appeared on like the screen. So what? Are they different people?
Howdy poems.
Are there two Howdies?
He's omnipotent, bro.
There might be 2 of them, bro. I'm just saying. I mean, the dude jumped. I mean, it was pretty crazy. But I don't know.
Did anybody? Listen, I'd imagine none of you guys have seen it. Bray Wyatt did an interview with Ryan Satin, and like,
I definitely didn't see that.
Not to shit on anybody, but like, the way Bray talked to him was so clear that he found him to be a mark. Because like about midway, Joe, he just literally starts going, "Yeah, I'm gonna start working this guy." Because like at first he's like, "Yeah, man, life is hard and da da da," and I was thinking about my ideas, and then Satin's just like, "Yeah, so like, what are you gonna do about like da da da?" And he's just kind of like, "I mean, I have demons, brother. I got demons in my mind and my bodies and my personalities are split, and I'm just wondering when am I gonna go crazy, brother? I don't know when I'm gonna go crazy." I was just like, all right, okay.
Bray talks and sounds like one of those artists you talk that paint like they have demons in their head and they paint everything they see. Like he's one of those guys, but he actually just talks it out. It's like, these demons are going crazy in my head. You know,
He
instead
said,
of
man,
hating
he
it
was
out,
like-
I do it online.
I
He's
saw
a character, bro. Yeah.
I saw a
It sounds-
clip from that interview, and he was like, he goes, the Fiend died because, like, this is not just a clown and a mask. That's stupid. This is a part of me. And I was like, well, I mean, it looks a lot like clown and a mask. I'm not an expert, but that's what it looks like.
It's got some powers and shit, but he's only. Yeah, let's fly through some more super chats. £5 from Darren Walker. Can we get Israel on Thursday for a reaction to Seth getting chucked out by a YouTube star?
Oh boy,
Monty's definitely ahead of you on that. Monty was so triumphant.
No, she wants to come on. She knows she can always come on. She's
Folks,
a busy woman, though. 2 weeks in a row with Israel is usually pretty rare. The big victory lap is when he walks out of Mania with the belt, like I said.
Monty's very cool, calm, collected on these programs for the most part, but you don't know the joy he took in that. There was a lot of messages sent. Fair to say, folks, it was spiteful. It has to be said, but you'll see more of that, I'm sure.
Listen, Darren said it. I don't even need
Darren said it. Darren said it. Spoke for you in this regard.
You saw a post-show Monty come out.
Yeah.
Big Hero Chris $5. Appreciate it. Just drank them from Mountain Dew Pitch Black, and now Uncle Howdy is outside my house. Please help.
He's a dangerous character.
Have you guys noticed? Is it just me? Normally, like I zone out and don't pay attention to product placement. But this Mountain Dew Pitch Black, I feel like it has taken a life of its own, and I feel like it's quickly becoming a meme. Is it just me?
Yes. No, you're right. It actually was like, it's because it's so ridiculous. I can't believe how much time we spent talking about this, but I still haven't come to grips with the notion that it was just a no DQ match with lights. I don't know. I was watching it I was thinking, there's no sort of.
Wow, hold on.
Okay.
There was the glow in the dark popcorn in the face
right,
paint.
but like
there was popcorn in the announce table.
Okay, tell me if this is maybe just me, but I expect, maybe because I was thinking cinematic, I thought it would be like much weirder. It to me was just a match with the lighting, which I mean, I guess,
Joe, you remember in Bray's return entrance how like the ring, everything was blacked out, and you got like these zoom in shots of like life-size Bray puppets and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I thought we were gonna get some type of like shit like that or whatever, and like with some ominous music, like as he's fighting and shit. But no, it was that's what I thought. But it was
Look at this, Joe. This one's for you. In the Ryan Staten interview, he said Alexa was the last thing the Fiend ever loved or something.
Bro, he really
man.
Bro, he's so. You know what? I respect it.
I respect it too because the thing is, I still see people online being like, "I wish Alexa could get away from this." Like, bro, Alexa thinks this is fucking awesome as well. She thinks he's like a genius,
No, I'll go even further. I'll pull back the curtain. She's creatively politics to be involved in this for months.
She loves working alongside it. Good luck to the man. God bless him.
She thinks this is me. Monty, I've come to a realization when it comes to Bray. Who on WrestlePurists is also just eclectic, eccentric, treads the line between kayfabe and shoot, and you wonder what goes on in his mind, but you find it to be art.
It's like 6 different people on our platform.
He's right under Joe Hulbert on our screen.
He is. Yes,
Manny is Bray Wyatt without the lore.
I mean,
they're talking about AO.
no, you were.
There were some candidates for that description. I gotta be honest, but you're right.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Just like
I think so.
Maniac artist that straddles kayfabe and shoes.
Yeah, that's kind of a description of our whole site, isn't it?
Monty isn't a gimmick.
No. Well,
yeah.
Who is a gimmick under the platform? We should go through this now.
Everyone is. I've spent the last 20 minutes talking about Uncle Howdy, bro. We're all full of shit around here.
Yeah, we're fucked, bro. Mazfan84 $4.99. Cody comes off as a phony made in a focus group All-American gimmick. He would be a great heel or congressional man that wants to take away more rights. Listen, he's a real wrestler, America,
Yeah.
It's what WWE needs as a front man. He comes out in his suits, just beaming of America and the United States, red, white, and blue. He's like I said, he's a real wrestler, man. You'll learn.
Bro, that man is talking to every. you know what's the funniest thing about him? So you know how like really, really famous people who have so much going on, like they're trying to escape the media, but the media are like rushing to ask them questions and like, hey, one more question. Cody was the opposite in that his time was cut, but he badly wanted more people to ask him questions so he could just get his Cody shit off. And he wanted it so badly that after his scrum was done, guys, I was told that he was literally actively like looking for media members who wanted to talk to him, which is just so funny to me. And like he's just giving them all the same thing where he's like, yeah, man, I just want to be Triple H's quarterback. You know, I just want to be Triple H's quarterback. I want to be the best. I just want to be the best. You know, I don't. He literally said, I don't want to be the 26th guy in the call sheet. I don't even want to be 1B. I want to be the guy. You know, and Hunter and me, he's the coach on the QB. That's what we do this for, man.
Well, it sounds like it's working from fucking what Triple H was saying, bro. Like, him getting emotional talking about Cody and like the Dusty comparison, and it's just like it's, you know what I mean. And you got Mavs fan, you know, we appreciate him very much. He's always there, but you know, that's a real wrestler if you've ever seen one. You know?
Monty, who's working who? Is Hunter working Cody or is Cody working Hunter?
No, both.
They're working each other.
They both bury the other one behind each other's back.
Yo, listen, they have a meeting, right? And Cody's like, I want this. I'm built for this. This is what my life is for. And Hunter's is like, you got to go out there and grab him by the balls, kid. And he's like, yeah, man. They both walk away, and Hunter's is like, what a fucking prick. What a little fucking
Cody being like Triple H has no reason to be a fan of me, but you know he understands.
Every interview he's like, I mean, I broke the throne. You know, I broke the throne, man. But he gets it. Hey, you know, Hunter probably looks him in the eyes and he's like, the throne. That's when I knew you were a real wrestler. That's when I knew you wanted it. Like, I feel like on one level he's like, what a fucking bitch, and on another level he's like, what a beast. I genuinely think he thinks he's beast for doing that. Yeah,
I think everyone does that with Cody to some extent, right? Like you waver. And then you'll see him in the press conference about the fucking pitch black mountain. They'll be like, you know what? Fair enough, man. Do you think? You know, like you earned it, bro. It's good.
He's a beast. WrestlePurists Fabrizio Romano, $5. Appreciate it. Breaking. Monty's in discussion with Todd Bowley to sell WrestlePurists to Chelsea. Initial bid of £80 million rejected. Talks ongoing. Listen, Chelsea are buying everything and everyone. You know, that's what they do, bro. But I'm standing firm.
You would be selling that thing very quickly. I'd be demanding as much. That would be the end to think about.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if bringing real to the game is worth that much, bro.
Not to switch topics, but this is going to be the most watched Raw of the year, barring Raw 30. And just to give you guys a heads up, Hunter's going full like I'm back to jerking off black and gold, like August style shit. We have 2 qualifiers for the Elimination Chamber match. One of them involves Johnny Gargano. The other one involves Bronson Reed. So he's giving this a second try in this booking run of his, where he's just like, "You're gonna fucking like my guys. Like you're gonna like."
Listen, Gargano came out to fucking silence in front of 50,000 people. Like, I'm not like I like Gargano. I'm not someone who's like, oh my god, he's whatever. But yo. Brutal, you know.
Just wrestle, bro. Listen.
Brutal.
I'll be candid, man. I had a conversation with him, and I was just kind of like, "Listen, man, fuck all that comedy shit, bro. Just at this point, just wrestle your ass off and remind people that you're good. See what happens. See if you get cheered afterwards. You know." So
all this Johnny Gargano on WWE's kind of just soured me if he ever came to AEW. I thought he can be a lead of the best friends, but now I just.
Lead of the best friend.
To be honest, I don't even see this as a crazy.
You had such high goals for him, you know.
To be honest with you, you know what, guys? I don't even see that as a crazy Manny statement. I think that's pretty valid, and I think it's on him now to find a way to dig himself into a what's it called, like a viable role, and we'll see if it happens.
Yeah, man.
It's definitely fair. It's just the idea that Manny sees that as a prestigious role is such a con. As if Manny's like, oh man, he could lead that faction. I love the best friends, you know. Absolutely.
Someone in the chat pointed out, Peach pointed out, like that he took a quarter sip of Pitch Black before commenting on the quality of Pitch Black as a drink.
Bro, he already had it locked up, bro. He had it like you could tell, like he takes a sip, he's like,
Bro,
it's
he did not
fantastic.
drink it. Bro, he didn't even drink it, bro. He literally he maybe dabbed it with his tongue.
He had it loaded, bro. He's a worker, like I said, real wrestler. Anyway, Mavs fan, 84 again, 199. Appreciate it as always. Bray really is old man Muta, but bad. I mean,
great Muta. You want to spray me with green mist? You do a Sierra Mist match at WrestleMania.
I'll be real. I'm still reeling from the Fiend's last love thing. I need that full quote. That sounds fucking incredible. I don't know. I mean, I might have to reappraise this Bray situation. About 4 months ago, Monty was all in, and I give him shit for it. I think we've switched roles, Monty. I think I'm back.
Even all in was a bit of a stretch. I was just like,
well, I mean, you were sending me,
people wanted him back, and
sending me still images of Bray every day was a bit much.
Joe, do you know Dave Meltzer to this day? Still, because Dave is a mini Monty. You and Dave are marks. Listen, right? Not the other way around. You guys are marks for a quarter-hour drawing ability and ticket sales, right? And so to this day, when Brian is like, it was fucking garbage, Dave. It was terrible. And Dave's just like, they like him.
Dave just like, oh yeah, he sold 4,000 tickets,
Right? Bro, like 2 weeks ago, he literally was like, the quarter went up about 200,000 viewers.
Honestly, though, that perspective is worthwhile because we're having fun here, but there's an audience that fucking loves Bray. So
bro, I know when the Rumble was on, bro, people everyone in our kind of circle of people that we'd be in group chats with and talk are absolutely ripping it apart, bro.
Right.
But when I just go onto my normal timeline, I'm seeing people popping oh my god, this is crazy. What's happening right now? Bro, people just jumped off and attacked. Even to pull back the WrestlePurists curtain a bit, we had a couple of writers who were absolutely popping in the fucking writers chat for
good
it.
Shit, man. It's good. I said this to you before we went on, but Bray is obviously hugely over. I'm not the Uncle Howdy thing. I'm not convinced is connecting at this point. Would be I don't watch the TV as closely as you fellas do, but based on the reaction on Sunday for the double dose of Howdy that they got, I'm not convinced they're into that. But they love Bray. I mean, unquestionably, he's a big star.
It's okay. One of our friends. Go on, Manny. Go on.
I can just picture what that last Bray Wyatt, and if Bray Wyatt was in the spot for the Muta match, it was just them two in this match. The way it would go out is Bray just sucks out the mist out of Muta's mouth and be like he took his spirits and all that from him.
Yeah.
So Muta just
can I be honest?
Muta's powers now.
Yeah. I think Great Muta versus Bray Wyatt would be the best Bray Wyatt match of all time.
Oh, that would be something.
Brian did some crazy shit with Bray, man. Brian did some insane stuff with
I forgot. Yo, that guy's a fucking animal.
Well, they wouldn't take bumps. They'll just stare at each other, just trying to fix each other out.
The fans
they spit miss and they miss every time, and they're just just like that, trying to do single leg takedowns and all that.
Yeah, he's something, man. It's one of our friends. He said, when's the crowd gonna finally turn on Brad? I was like, bro, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
His following have they're all in, bro. They've been on a journey with him and that, through it's just he has a real connection with the fans that are into him, and they're ride or die, bro.
Think about how many big pay-per-view matches that Bray has lost, combined with all-time WrestleCrap angles that he survived and was not damaged by, in his career. You know what I mean? Like 4 pay-per-view losses to Cena. Literally cosplaying as Sister Abigail, which was literally Bray with makeup and a curtain on his face. You know what I mean? The fucking Projector Worms match, Randy, the House of Horrors match he had with Randy a month later, fucking the Hell in a Cell match with Seth. This guy, half of the stuff that he's been through, if you did it to any other wrestler, they'd be fucking finished.
I will say though, the end may be nigh because, folks, at some point this year they're going to run Scarlett and Cross versus Bray and Alexa.
Oh my god!
Let me tell you something. If you wanna make the crowd go quiet for a Bray Wyatt deal, you put fucking Karrion Kross in there, mate. He'll make it happen. He could do it. He could do it with anyone. I'm telling you. So TikTok, as they say, right? TikTok, folks.
Cross, my brother. You say TikTok, brother. Timeless, my brother. I don't feel the concept of time because I am eternal.
Triple H is definitely going to do that match, right? That feels like an absolute lock.
He's definitely tempted. 100%, bro.
I think that might be the Mania match. Oh, and I guess Uncle Howdy
No.
the Mania match.
Yo, Mont, you know what it is? He watches Cross come out there. He's like, please get some type of reaction, but I really want to do this Bray match.
I think I'm telling you, I'll be stunned if it doesn't happen. What else is he going to do?
Here's what I'll tell you. I assumed it, but they're souring on Cross. So
yeah, don't blame him.
I think the Rumble kind of,
it indicated how they felt, right?
Should have figured it out a long time ago, man.
Far $222, $5. Y'all ready for the remake of Rocky? There's 4 in it. Rocky 4, summer 2023.
Fucking yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
The question is, who is Apollo in that scenario, and who's Gunther going to kill on television?
Can I be honest, guys?
Dustin.
So I was just about to say, so Dustin Rhodes, right? His AEW contract expires in either April or May, and he's retiring this year. I kind of want him to not sign a full-time deal with WWE because that just would be kind of pointless. But I want him to make a couple appearances, and I would actually like to see him either kind of team with his brother a little bit, or just kind of be by his side. Because remember how Cody would have these over-the-top boxer entrances, like at All In and at some of the AEW pay-per-views where he has so many nightmare people, DDP and shit, and guys in the fucking tracksuits and stuff. Could you imagine Dustin kind of showing up on TV to mentor Cody, right, for like a month? And then at some point, he's like, fuck off, Gunther. And he challenges him to a match on TV. And Cody's like, why would he do that? Why would he do that, Dustin? He's like, hey, trust me, kid. I got this. All right, maybe I got one last bullet in the chamber. All right, kid. And then he's backstage and he goes, and he fucking goes outside, right? And then fucking Gunther just chops the fucking life out of him for like 10 minutes and kills him.
I mean, that sounds fucking awesome, to be honest.
Honestly, I'd rather just have like a hologram of Dusty Rhodes just talk to him.
Yo, you know what? Actually, listen, that's some Star Wars shit, man. You gotta make that a graphic now. You gotta make that a graphic. But how about this, right? Cody's just like, Dustin, stay away from Gunther, and he's just like, kid. He slashed him, and he's just like, what's he do?
You know what's gonna happen? Like they're gonna come out to WrestleMania, and Dustin's gonna be with them in the tunnel, and they're gonna be behind in front of a green screen, and they're gonna have just a ghost of Dusty just right there with the 3 of them before he comes out, and they're just gonna walk out like that.
Yo, you know what I could see them actually doing though? A really elaborate Mania entrance for the Roman match, where like right before the actual entrance, you just on screen you just hear like fucking like hard times. It's going to work and getting replaced by a computer and so you're just not good enough, daddy. That's hard times. Just like,
I mean, that would fucking rule, to be fair. They should do that.
Yeah, they play Hard Times. They've just played the Hard Times promo before Cody hits his music.
That would be awesome, no, like genuinely.
Yo, Monty, they play the Hard Times promo interspersed with like just clips of Cody's entire Fed career with sad music playing and shit.
We're cooking, bro. We need to send these pictures off. Anyway, Jacob Donnelly, $5. Bray would make a hell of a living from A24 horror films. Anything to get him away from wrestling.
Well, A24 is gonna hear his ideas and go, "No, you can't make this kind of films here."
A24 might be a little bit optimistic, but he could definitely make some films. I've never been any good.
Give it a crack,
Yo, okay, go finish this.
Ben Dixon, $5 Australian. Appreciate it as always. Would the WWE crowd viewers care if Bray stopped having matches and just did vague storytelling or promos? I think they could literally get away with what they've done so far. Like he has 4 matches a year. Like I think they could get away with that quite easily. Is what it is,
Yeah.
Yo, his match guide is crazy. His match guide is crazy.
It's interesting, bro. Showtime Spurs $2. Yeah, Showtime Spurs $2. How many views could a Cross Thatcher match get?
That's a 500
on what show?
Quarter hour.
At least a dozen, at least minimum.
Carry on Cross, Team Thatch. Yeah.
Listen, Thatch might work an arm in that thing. It may convince me. You never know, right? That's the way it works. But
Listen, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Mavs fan again, appreciate it as always. Mavs fan 84, 199. Nia Jax, Charlotte, most anticipated women's rematch. Oh, steady on.
Is Nia back?
Why do they bring her back, bro?
Is she like actually back, like full time?
I don't know.
But obviously they brought her back for that pop. Like, even if they brought her back full time, like, they were just thinking about, we'll bring her in for that pop, you know?
But they botched.
Yeah, which the botched, but she still got the pop, you know? She did get the pop.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's all he wanted. That's my only explanation for that one, you know? Because, she hasn't wrestled, bro.
There's got to be a better way, Monty.
I'm going to say this.
Yeah, there is. There is, definitely. There's a million better ways.
It was very clear that she has not wrestled.
Listen, anyway, Rob, 999 Super Chat. Appreciate it as always. Of course, on Purist to the world. Okay, Bray Wyatt, you don't know me, but I was in a skiing accident in 2013, paralysed from the neck down. It's been a hard 10 years, but Saturday I stood up and walked to turn your match off. God bless you.
Yo, I read the first half of that comment, was so fucking confused till I realized
it was crazy. I want to say real quick, Chris said that what I was pitching they did with Dustin with Lance Archer, and you're absolutely correct, they did do it with Lance Archer, but if you have not noticed, Cody's recycling his AEW angles on WWE television. Like, a lot of what he's been saying and doing.
Remember the angle he did with Shivani, where they did the Heenan Flair thing, where they like traveled to the show together and just talked graps? Remember that thing they did?
Oh my god!
Gotta bring that. That's a classic. He's got to bring that back. I don't know who he would do it with, but he's got to do it.
They got to do the bus angle also. They need you need Jey Uso walking down the street like, we ain't worried about this, man. Oos, come on, Oos. Let's get up in this bus, dog. And he opens, it's just Cody standing in there.
I would actually. I would like them to do. I would like to see that singles match actually on TV. Jey and
Cody.
Yeah, it would be a good TV main event.
Monty's gonna shed tears of joy at that.
He's definitely gonna wrestle Sikoa.
That might be the program after Mania, honestly.
No. You don't understand. No, that is gonna be his Cody Wardlow steel cage. He's gonna be the first guy to. Yeah. He's gonna be the first guy to pin Solo on the main roster.
No, he wouldn't be the first.
Nobody's pinned Solo on the main roster.
I'm sure that.
I think there's a chance that you would do. I think there's a chance that after he beats Roman, you would do the angle of like Solo trying to get the belt back. You know, that's that. But I mean, they're going to work each other regardless. Yeah.
Solo lost to Kevin. No, it was KO.
No,
It was KO. No, it was DQ. Sorry.
DQ. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They wouldn't even give KO the W. Solo has not gotten pinned in the main roster.
Yeah, that's definitely Cody's spot.
Yep.
Him and Jay could have a 3.5 that we all like send messages about.
3.75 to be honest with you, because you know what I was thinking about the other day. I don't know. I think I was talking about Imperium with this. So there's some WWE TV matches that are laid out to be around like 3.5 stars when they get a certain amount of time, right? That like there are certain people that like are so poor at wrestling that they can't even live up to the layout, and they get a worse match out of it. You know, the Corbins and Mizes of the world. And then there's guys who live up to what the layout is and have that match. And then there's guys who get more out of it because of the quality of their work. And I use that to describe Eichner and Bartel from Imperium. And I think Cody's another way where, like, I think Cody can literally turn a 3.5 star layout to, like, a near 4 just off the sheer quality of how good he is at wrestling, similar to, like, a Rey Mysterio. So I think him and Jay could have an above 3.5 star match on TV.
Yeah, it'll probably be really good. We should probably talk about the the Bloodline business, right? It would make sense.
Oh shit, we haven't even talked.
We legitimately talked about Bray Wyatt for half an hour in this show, which is incredible.
That's amazing.
That held an audience, you know. He's like, bro, look, we got 145 live viewers.
I've told you
number again.
There you go.
Bray Wyatt is incredible content, bro. He's amazing.
Do we have any Bray Wyatt fans in the chat? Legitimately, you know, don't be scared to like come out because you know I was popping when you returned.
We all like wrestling. We all do it. And almost certainly like weirder wrestlers than Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's like actually popular. Most of my favorite wrestlers aren't popular whatsoever, so don't worry about it.
That's a good point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's actually popular, but I don't know.
Okay. Monty, check your emails.
Way ahead of you, brother.
Oh no, this has been happening in the.
What do you want to do first?
Wait, which one?
I feel like the most wanted one would be a bit random in this part of the show. To be fair, both of them are quite random in this part of the show when we're talking about Bray Wyatt.
Wait, we're not doing the Hooper ones yet, right? In the Nigel one.
There's a Nigel one.
Yeah, remember I sent you. No, there was actually four.
Bro.
Guys, let me pull back the curtain for the WrestlePurists chat.
Bro, before we start this podcast, yeah, I went on my emails and I had 2 pictures from Manny. Yeah, I thought, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I'm ahead of the game. Normally, I'm doing it while we're live on here, and loaded them into the StreamYard, ready to throw them up. Manny brought it up, then you heard the confidence in my voice, bro. Go on my emails. This nigga sent me 3 more emails, bro. One of them's titled Nigel. One of them's titled Uncle Howdy, and the other one's titled Cody. Okay, I'm looking at Nigel.
How has Nigel come back into this now?
It's Nigel, isn't it?
Let's do the Uncle Howdy. No, the Cody one, since we were just talking about Cody.
Okay, Uncle Howdy. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, because I did that one. I did that one when there was a super chat up about why is Uncle Howdy outside my window.
He's already done it, bro.
Oh no. I'm very concerned about what's coming up on the screen here in a moment.
We just thought, we love the Rhodes family. Yeah, that's what we do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, upload into the StreamYard. Joe, killed that.
Okay, folks, when this is done, we will actually talk about the red hot angle that closed the Royal Rumble event. We promise we're aware that we've spent most of the show talking about a match we didn't like. We will talk about the Usos. The Bloodline, I should say, Sami Zayn fiasco, which was electric close to the pay-per-view.
I want to get some AEW talking as well. So
absolutely,
I do want to say I went downtown the following day after the Royal Rumble because I decided that I'd never been downtown during a weekend, so I went downtown. You know how many fucking marks are wearing WWE Royal Rumble shirts and like Undertaker shirts, and I said, God damn, bro. I said no shame whatsoever.
That's when you know you're in Fed country, bro. When you're seeing the Taker shirts.
Bro,
I promise you,
man. Everyone's got a belt. It's fucking.
I counted. There was probably 20 Undertaker shirts that I saw.
Bro, Monty, did I tell you when I was at AEW Full Gear? I seen at least 20 Bloodline shirts. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, especially Bloodline. Bloodline merch is fucking everywhere.
Roman
also like Roman specifically, like just tribal chief t-shirts. I was seeing them a lot, and obviously in the UK, it's not even like a thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, this is the closing image of WrestleMania 39, ladies and gentlemen. Manny's been to the future, seen it. He's created it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we've arrived. We've fucking arrived, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh man. You know?
Yo, listen. Man, he's gonna make some weird edit of Cody selling a Roman beatdown in the middle of the match before he fires up, and all you hear in Cody's head is like, use what I taught you, daddy. Use what I taught you. Yeah, baby. Come on, daddy. He doesn't come back.
Right, I'm going to throw up a bit of Uncle Howdy as well. Manny, can you explain what the fuck's going on here?
Because there was a super chat earlier.
I like it, Manny. I respect it. I appreciate that.
If you guys don't know, this is from Halloween when she just stares out her window and Michael Myers is outside. But there was a super chat earlier where somebody said that why is Uncle Howdy standing outside my window or something like that. And I made that one real quick in like a minute. I just forgot.
Why didn't you tell me that then?
You guys
so made it and forgot about it immediately.
Yeah. I moved on to Cody.
Very good.
Artist never stops, Okay. That's that for now. Manny's art, you've got more to come.
Oh wait, just throw up that rookie one since we're gonna move on to the big angle.
The big angle. You want the Ricky one?
Yeah, because we're gonna be done talking with Cody, and then this is the only time we can talk about him.
Okay, so Ricky Starks, he was cool on some sort of CCTV footage, or something. One of them security guards at the stadium been leaking, Ricky Starks was at the Royal Rumble with Cody. He was with Team Cody, Team Nightmare Factory. DDP was there as well. You see that, Joe?
No, I didn't. Not you know.
That's it, bro. Yeah, of course DDP was there. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no, Monty, you got to throw that up on the screen. That picture is so funny.
Which one, the DDP Cody one or Manny's?
The Cody Ricky Starks security camera.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Ricky looked like Ricky knew that he
Oh.
was in trouble too. Like the look on his face, he knew he shouldn't have been there.
Oh my God.
Right, man, you want to you want to talk people through what we got going on here.
Oh my God.
The Hooper's most wanted fugitive right here. This guy.
So how did you create this?
I looked at the most 10 wanted people online, and then I just went from there.
So who have you put Ricky Starks over?
Who did I put him over?
What criminal is? What criminal have you put under? Because I can now that I'm looking at it, I can see that you've like put pictures over pictures. You know. So like,
I can look it up of who it was. Let's see. Let me go through my deleted photos. Man, if I kept every photo, I run out of space a long time ago. Let's see what poor man I put Ricky over. Let's see. Arnold Jimenez.
and what was he guilty of?
Oh no. Oh no.
You know what?
Murder in first degree.
Yeah, never mind. Actually, back to Ricky Starks. What did he do, man? You know, what's he deserve this?
One count of being a Cody dick rider, a pose merchant, and multiple counts of being a fraud. Should put in ring, but it is what it is. You can. And
Manny,
then it says,
what punishment is he facing?
That's for the jury to decide. This is we follow the justice system around here. I'm not the judge, jury, and executioner. I let that to the jury. Right. I just put out the wanted signs. I'm a free man. I'm like a, that's the kind of guy I am. And then it says, warning: he is extremely dangerous and will try to claim your city and pose to get you to cheer him. Last seen following Cody Rhodes around San Antonio.
Did you guys see him responding to a fan who was like, hopefully you get to point at the sign one day?
I saw that. I wish I saw that before I made this, because I would have.
Oh no! Yeah.
So would one of his counts be like one count of having WrestleMania dreams? Would that be one of them?
This man
no loyalty. What kind of no loyalty?
It runs deep. I don't know. It's another one. I don't know where it all.
Pose merchant is an incredible insult for a wrestler.
Have you ever seen him? After he hits a move, he does that, and he just.
I feel like that logic would get you to dislike a lot of wrestlers, though.
No, I mean, if you watch every other wrestler on Dynamite, you don't see everybody every time they hit somebody. Maybe just Hater. Maybe Hater's the only one that maybe does it sometimes, but Hater rules.
Manny, what do you think?
Before. Because it's been sat here for like 5 minutes longer. Expert Gaming 499, appreciate you. I hope you're still here. If Cody dethrones Roman at Mania, when should he drop the belt? IMO should lose it at either SummerSlam or the Rumble.
Damn,
I think that if I'm not mistaken, isn't WWE planning to do a UK show again this year, or am I just making
they're
that
doing
up?
it? They're doing Money in the Bank.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, that's too soon. Okay. I was gonna say, so I think, listen, I'll go full cosplay. I think that Gunther.
Oh yeah.
What? What's up?
What's going on now? What's that?
Fightful selectors learned that Tony D'Angelo is set to work the main event tapings tonight.
Oh, fuck off, bro! Fuck off, bro. I'm thinking like something.
It's a good Monday.
Fuck off.
Cody Rhodes is back.
Despicable, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Triple H is getting a look at a real wrestler,
Fuck off.
Clap his hands together, bro.
Clap his hands, bro.
It's time, bro.
That was terrible, man.
Bro, that man reacted like fucking I don't even know. Like some star was in town, or like
Goldberg was in town.
There is a
he
star
was like,
in town.
he's like, ah,
The Don's
Tony
in town. It's even better, you know.
What was I even talking about? Oh, no, now I remember. So listen, I want Gunther to just abuse and demolish Cody Rhodes in a elongated squash.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes versus Tony D'Angelo would be
It would be fine. It would be fucking fine.
Come on.
you know. Tony D would hit some good suplexes.
I want Cody.
Some good the promos. Come on.
I'm not letting you get this off.
You got listen. This is what people did with Tiffany Stratton. You all laughed at me.
No, it's not. Don't do that.
Now look where we are.
Don't you evoke the name of Tiff Strat, Monty, all right? It's a different thing. It's a different topic.
I can't invoke. I was there from day one, you know. I was in the trenches with Greg with her, you know.
Monty, could you imagine Cody just being fucking white meat backstage, cutting a promo to like an interview, and he's just like, you know, I've had my run-ins with the mob as a kid, and my dad used to tell me.
All right, fair enough. I mean,
Cody, get it cooking, bro.
You're listening. He's just like, my dad used to tell me, if it's not honest money, Daddy, don't take the money. He's just.
He's gonna tell him, "Don't worry about our RICO case. You're gonna go through the American Nightmare." That's what he's gonna tell him.
Listen, cooking, bro. Get him on the main roster, you know.
All right, so my pitch is for Gunther to destroy Cody at like a SummerSlam or something. Yeah. You do a stretcher job. You give Gunther a fall run. Give Cody a nice little 2-month vacation so people can miss him before the shtick gets old. And then, you know, a SummerSlam title rematch where Cody gets the belt back, brother. You know?
It's used. I mean, you were the one who said this to me, so I'm fully aware I'm taking your point. But it is genuinely it's Vader's thing, right? It has to be.
Yes.
It has to be Vader's thing. Like when you said that to me, I was saying this earlier with talking about. It's like he's the Dusty thing is obvious, you know, it's very apparent. But like I often do kind of forget how there's a lot of Sting in Cody's babyface kind of because his favorite wrestler as a kid was Sting, right? In the early 90s. He loved Sting.
Triple H.
And if you see him as a babyface, like the style of babyface he is, there's definitely a big overlap between that and like early 90s Sting, 100%. And sometimes I kind of lose sight of that.
It is like a facsimile at times. Bro. Yeah. He throws the same punches. He has the same hair, besides like the little rat tail shit that Sting had going at some points. He literally has the same fire up sometimes where he'll literally just like flex out and like just fucking pull from the top of his head. And he's just, come on. You know what I mean? And it's the same type of fire. I'll never forget this. Last year he had a Miz TV segment, right? Where he literally was taken from Sting because like the crowd is cheering for him and he's about to talk and he's just like, I'm just happy to be in Georgia, baby. And like he's just being Sting. Like he's literally being Sting. He's just like, I'm happy to be on Raw. Whoa, baby. He's just being Sting. You know?
He's we love Cody around here, you know. Half £5. Unrelated Monty, but Jorginho probably leaving. There's a hole in my heart right now. It's a very dark and gloomy day when that happens. If it happens tonight, if it happens tomorrow before the window closes. You know, Jorginho has been one of my favourite players at Chelsea in the the past few years. Love that guy, you know. But now, unfortunately for Chelsea, we're finished. We're cooked. Roman Abramovich had to sell. Always loved his ownership, you know. Now we're owned by Americans. We're fucked. We sacked Thomas Tuchel. We're fucked. We hired Graham Potter. We're fucked. We're spending money like no man's business. We're fucked, bro. You know. So it's good that a real manager like Mikel Arteta, who knows what he's doing, is going to look after Jorginho for us. Unfortunately, it's at Arsenal, you know. But Mikel Arteta, they're noble. Jorginho is going to go win the Premier League. And we're fucked. So, you know, get used to it, brother. It's going to be a long road. Jamie thinks we're not as fucked as they are. We are absolutely more fucked than Liverpool right now. But enough of English football talk.
Before we move on to the big angle. Man, Booker T, man, he couldn't fucking walk, bro. You saw that shit?
Bro, when he came out, I was watching it with my girlfriend. You know, she has a rough idea of who Booker T is because I've educated her since his reinduction to NXT, you know. When his music hit, I just like threw my fist up in like triumph, you know. It's just...
He looked Muta can walk better than him. I saw him. I said, "Get this poor man out of here! Shit, and put him in a wheelchair and put him out
those
there."
kicks.
Yeah.
God bless, bro. That was just vibes,
He can
even eliminated him.
do the spinner
How old is
It-
Booker? Like genuinely, how old is Booker?
Like 58.
Yeah, he's got to be other right. Yeah.
58. I don't think he's 58.
Let me do the math. He turned 40 in 2005 or 2006. Sorry, so he would be.
I'd say he's going to be like Triple H's age, isn't it?
No, he's way old. He's way older than
yeah.
100. You know, let me just look it up instead of us fucking speculating.
I'm doing it because he was an old man. He was an old man. And he's 57.
57. Yeah, like I said, he's a lot older than Hunter. Hunter's like 50.
No,
The thing with Booker is he's built amazing for his age,
Yes.
but he does move like his age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
yeah, absolutely. It's like he posts those pictures of him showing up at reality of wrestling shows where he's like looking jack still.
Yeah,
so
but then
he looked good. It's just that he didn't move.
Do you remember when FTR were trying to like shoot an angle with fucking Harlem Heat like last year? Can you imagine?
I gotta be honest.
That match.
That match would have been good. I don't care. I have that much belief in FTR. That match would be good.
Ever, I'm with you on that front. But Stevie Ray in 2022, 2023 is a fucking insane.
Listen. It would have looked crazy. It would look fucking crazy, but
Imagine he's like hot tag. Cash and Dax just bouncing around the ring.
Listen, imagine Cash is selling in that, bro.
I'm telling you, it would literally have to be like Steve Ray would throw slow punches and Dax would just bump for every punch. Like he's like punch, bump, pop back up, punch, bump. Guys, real quick before we continue, listen. This is one of the biggest audiences I think we've ever had for Worldwide at about 150 viewers.
We draw a good house. Especially, we were drawing good houses when you weren't here,
All right.
Oh my God, guys. Roosh is just kicking the shit out of Brian Pillman, bro. I'm watching this shit.
Yeah,
right
bro.
now.
Bro, I remember, like I said, I think it was last week's show when we was on. And Sean, I remember seeing Sean Ross that tweet like, Brian Pillman Jr. and Rush just kicking the shit out of each other, and I just popped like.
Well, I don't know about Brian Pillman, but I all this match was going on for like all 4 minutes, and Pillman's only got one chop in, and you just see fucking Rush's beer steroid belly just popping out and just beating the shit out of Pillman. Fucking.
So what I was gonna say, guys, is I appreciate everybody who stopped by, and if you could like the video, please do so. We're at over 140 viewers and only 39 likes, so please like the video. It helps with our visibility, helps the channel, helps us provide more content for you guys. So please like the video if you have not done so.
Let's talk about the big angle, man. We've done an hour. Let's talk about the big angle. So obviously after the match, Roman Reigns annihilated Kevin Owens. Bloodline all jump in, annihilate Kevin Owens some more. Sami's conflicted. He's in pain. He don't want to see this. You know what I mean? You see him, and he's like, when Solo's going to do his hip attack in the corner with the chair on. Sami's like going to walk over to it to tell him to stop, but he can't do it. Roman's just got his arm around him like a piece of shit, and then Sami obviously he tries to get them all to stop. Roman hands him a chair and says, "You do it," and he can't do it. What are you popping for, man?
Roosh is just telling Pillman, he's telling him to hit me, and then every time Pillman hits him, I guess hard, Roosh just lights his ass up, and then you can just see Pillman's chest like lighting up, and every chop's getting harder, and Pillman's just like flying back like that with every chop.
Real commentary,
I'm gonna screen record this and put this on fucking Twitter, bro. This is must see right here.
Okay. Well, Manny's doing that. We'll talk about the big angle. But yeah, man. Obviously, they were beating down on Kevin Owens. Sami tried to get him to stop as Roman's about to swing a chair at him while Kevin's handcuffed to the ropes. Sami goes to stop him, like I said, telling him that it's beneath him, etc., etc. Roman's like, "Yeah, you're right, it is beneath me. You do it." Goes to hand Sami the chair, which I thought was like a crazy visual. The way he just kind of handed it to him, like. You know, Sammy's conflicted for it. Roman gets in his face. You know, he's like, "Are you crying? What are you crying? This is my life." You know, he's just going crazy at you. Just all of it was really cool.
Paulie was like, "There's no crying in the bloodline."
No, you know what's even funnier? Paul Heyman's mid-match worship monologues at Roman, where he's just like, "You are my tribal. This is why we look at you and worship you as a tribal chief."
And he refers to Sami as Shmooly, you know, and he just
bro,
he's like, "Get the chair."
Bro, Heyman literally, it's like he's fucking praying, like a Muslim, bro. Like he literally, like it's like Roman is his Quran, bro. He's just, "You are the tribal chief." His hands are up, like.
He loves it, bro. You know, he's passion, real passion. You know, real personality in the wrestling world. But yeah, anyway, Roman's trying to get Sami to take out KO with a steel chair. Turns his back to Sami. Sami hits Roman with a chair. Roman goes down. Everyone kind of froze for a second. Jay's screaming at Sami like, "What are you doing?" Jimmy's just like, "What the fuck?" Super kicks him. They all beat the shit out of him, and you know, they've done a pretty good job on the beatdown. Roman went to fucking town with the chair on Sami, bro.
Yeah.
He hit him like
and
10 times.
When he was doing that, did you see the way like Paulie kept like doing this? Like it was too grotesque for him to look at. Like it was fucking like he was shooting him, you know? Paulie was like this. He couldn't take it anymore. It was very rare, honestly. You know, we've had a lot of fun here, obviously, but like genuinely, to be sincere with some praise, it is very rare that an angle has both the perfect build-up, but also an angle with this many people involved, for each of them to be so exceptional in their role.
Yeah.
That's very rare. That's very rare because you can go individuals. I mean, Kevin Owens is almost a backdrop, but he is just so wonderfully sympathetic in this spot as the babyface. And the way he was eating those fucking super kicks, man, and the way he was slumped over, and it was great. And it didn't detract from it being over the top. It felt perfect. The Usos were, man, how vicious were the Usos when they were on the attack? And then the contrast between them when Jay stopped. There was also that great moment with Jimmy where when he knocked Sami out, he like yelled something to Jay about like, "You said he's your brother, I'm your brother," you know? And that was like, and that was part of it, kind of went under the radar. Roman is just an absolute monster of a character, like a truly evil wrestling character. I'm not saying anything new here. I know that, folks, but what I'm getting at is like, there are multiple people in this segment, and all of them were perfection. Like that's special, man. It was incredible. I didn't even mention Sami. You know, like he's the main character of the thing. So it was unbelievable. Great angle. Incredible.
I thought it was sensational. Watching it live, you know, I knew what needed to be done, and I expected it to happen, but like you're still kind of like on pins and needles until it officially happens, you know. Like I was just so like stressed out watching it. Just what a story in general. Like you said, there's various moving parts and individuals that like their individual performances are great. Fucking Solo Sikoa is an executioner, and he just finishes the job that he was going to do on Monday. You know, Jey Uso is the conflicted guy because he's the one that Sami won over throughout this whole process. And so now he's just like, he doesn't know what to do when it comes to the situation. And I tweeted about this, him just kind of watching this visual of Roman Reigns getting everybody to continue to just abuse this guy. I think it was a lot for him, like the character to handle. It was very overwhelming for him, and that's why he walked away, because I think that he's been slapped with the realization that Roman Reigns is a piece of shit. And so that's why he's walked away. And like I said off the air, I think what's going to happen in the next month of TV is it's going to be a lot of, I think, Roman Reigns essentially gaslighting him into getting back on board. Roman, when Jay walked out, like it made him snap, because it was like, oh my God, Sami ruined my fucking family now too. And so he starts just destroying Sami with a chair afterwards. It was crazy. And one of the big takeaways I took was that Roman Reigns has been like the cool heel now for about a year. And after this, like they're chanting "fuck you, Roman," you know, like massive super villain heat. Someone on Twitter pointed out that like when he was up the ramp, he told Solo something along the lines of like, "This is war now." So yeah, I thought this was great, and I noticed just this is like the talk of the wrestling world right now. Like Like this seems like one of those things where like the entire wrestling world, even if you're someone who hates WWE, most people at the very least see this as a really successful angle, and it's just crazy how this whole thing came to be. Sami Zayn, I can't praise him anymore for what he's done for the Bloodline, because I think that I thought that they were very much stagnating, just as a whole, and what he's done to just kind of breathe new life into the TV and their dynamic and the story and the narrative, it can't be just. I don't even know what to say, but yeah, man, amazing. Honestly, like I think this is a tremendous angle. I think this is one of WWE's best storylines ever, like ever. I think the last thing I'll just point out on this is that, everybody who watches the TV can see that this has always been a Sami and KO and Usos storyline, in the sense that Roman, he's not there for half the TVs, and the crux and central dynamic of this whole story has been Jey Uso and Sami's relationship and how that's developed. Yeah. And I think it makes for a compelling story in the sense that KO, I did the research, like a fucking Elite Lore merchant. Shout out to Charlie. Like I literally did the research just to check for myself, right? On August 15th last year, right? KO, that was the week where KO essentially points out that, like, I'm in the venue where me and Sami had the Battleground match. And like and he was talking about how, like, that made me realize, like, I need to remember who I am, and like I've had a lot of fun these last few years, but like I'm Kevin Owens, I'm a prize fighter, and him and Sami, they've been two guys that they're pro wrestlers that figured out how to exist in Vince McMahon's ecosystem of wrestling. Mm-hmm. But I think this storyline is about them remembering who they are, and KO did it easily. He's trying to get his friend to do the same. So that's what we're building towards here. The various interpersonal dynamics with the Usos and Sami will make for a really just conflicting matchup emotionally when it comes to the tag. And like I said on Twitter, I think that if WWE really wants to make a statement about tag team wrestling mattering, I would not be opposed to this match being the main event of night one.
I agree. I think that's a very natural conclusion to get to. The one thing I'll say, and this is purely as a fan on like a subjective level, I agree with everything you said, and I think it's pretty obvious that Jay's going to fall in line for this WrestleMania build. I really hope they give that character some semblance of closure or redemption afterwards. And again, that's just as a fan. I think Jey Uso has been such a great part of this. It would be a shame if him falling in line is the end of his story in the blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it is. I don't either, but like, I really hope that's internally a priority also beyond Mania, because like, I think that character deserves like a true conclusion also. Because I mean, conclusions in wrestling is such a weird thing, right? Because wrestling just goes on and on. But like,
right.
I think he's obviously going to fall in line for this build, and that's going to be, I think that's going to be, very effective storytelling. But I hope we don't lose that nuance, because that nuance has been a driving force in why this thing's so good. I mean, we talk about it a lot on here, so I know everyone's like rolling their eyes, but like seriously, he's fucking incredible in these segments, man. Jey is like, the amount of emotion that dude can convey, I think he's honestly really special. I mean, to me personally, his reaction to what Sami did on Saturday was like the highlight of the segment to me. I just thought it was so raw, and I think the reason this angle is so fabulous is it's incredibly theatrical and over the top and like dramatic, but there's a real sense of authenticity to it and a grit to it that I think anyone can get into one of the characters involved, And while it's very, I mean, look, it's it's wrestling, so there's certainly flashy elements to it, and again, it's over the top, it's wrestling, but at core, some of these characters react like normal people to an extent, right? And Jey looked like he was in fucking agony.
Jey makes it easy, bro.
He grounds it.
He makes it easy.
Yeah,
he makes it so easy to buy into.
Monty, do you remember the segment in like October when they were like in their Roman basically said, Jey and Sami, hash out your issues, and they're arguing, and Sami was like, I just want peace. The tribal chief wants peace, and he goes, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief wants. Yeah. And it zooms in on Roman like, excuse me? There's been a lot of little hints and things here and there to just show you and reinforce the whole thing about Jey secretly resents the fuck out of this guy, And so I think what we could do is, after the Usos lose the tag titles to Sami and KO, you could have a thing where Roman just lambasts them for it and blames them for his own failures. And that could be a post-Mania thing where Jey just kind of finally officially stands up to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
That's what Joe was saying. You just hopefully there is some sort of like real like payoff / redemption / some sort of real ending to him.
yeah.
This arc that he's been on for the past couple of years. I was saying to you last night. I think genuinely, you combine all this kind of little quirks and stuff, and how good he is in segments, and just as a TV character, and how easy he is to buy. And you compare that with the fact that he's probably been in more main events in the past 2 years than anybody on television.
Yep.
I think he's genuinely like been one of the best wrestlers on TV as a whole. Like,
Bro,
over the past couple of years. Like,
bro, Monty,
incredibly...
Raw would have been Raw the last 2 months. The last 2 months of Monday Night Raw TV would have been so fucked without him.
Like, he feels like a genuinely. I don't underrated is the wrong word because the Usos have been like the champs for like 10, 15 years, whatever it is. But like as a singular asset, I do think Jay deserves more credit than he gets for how seamlessly he's been able to give them singles matches for the last 2-3 years. Like,
they're not like 4.5-star classics.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say he's one of the best people on TV, that can sound very striking, but it's just like they're never bad and they're always good. Like they're always, if you want to make it a star thing, like, they're always like,
and what's interesting
3.5 star rank, like, and he's
crazy
just
part is
banging them out, bro.
Before this last 2 years, or over 2 years now, but before this run, when one of the Usos was hurt, the other one was just off TV. Like, this is not something that Jay's done previously. Like, I remember even when Jay was hurt, Jimmy doing like commentary on SmackDown for a stretch because they didn't know what to do with one Uso. And it's like you kind of look back at that now, and it's like, fuck, that's so crazy. Like Jay gives them like big time singles matches now, and it's just interesting the coincidence of how it all came together because I think, and we've talked about this before, but I think the intention when this whole thing started was that Roman was going to work with Bray. And I think Roman said, I'm not so keen on the idea of working with Bray. And I think that's kind of how we ended up with the Jey Uso thing becoming what it became, right?
Yeah, that is what happened.
Yeah, so
he was supposed to do a program with Bray Wyatt in the fall of 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting thing to look back on. Of like, wow, that was kind of important what happened there, right? It was like
holy shit,
kind of shifting. Yeah, that's how it works, man. Wrestling's a weird beast in that way, but yeah, I don't know.
He fills big boots and he kind of goes under the radar to an extent.
I think so. As much as he can in the biggest angle,
But like even like I said, like the amount of matches, the amount of TVs that he's main evented and stuff, and he never lets you down. That's probably the best way of putting it,
Yep.
Like I said, he don't blow you away, Like, he ain't gonna have like
you're not Will Ospreay or something.
Yeah, look, I'm not anticipating him to pull out a 5-star match with Cody or anything, It'll probably be a nice little, fall a little short of 4 stars, He's But yeah, just like as a TV character, what he brings to the storyline. He brings a lot. Like I said, look, he brings a lot more than I think a lot of people give him credit for as well to this storyline.
Yep.
Go on.
I was gonna say, and it's also pretty impressive how much the wrestling audience is now really drawn to this because, like, just look at last week, right? If you guys go to the quarter hours. The peaks of Raw, they did a 2.75 million quarter for the verdict of the trial of Sami Zayn. And then at the conclusion of the tag title match that Sami inserted himself into, they did another 2.7 million. On a show with legends where the legends stuff, like they did well, but they weren't in that stratosphere. Yeah. And then you go to SmackDown. SmackDown did 2.6 million viewers. Like that's fucking insane in the current era of cable and television.
That's partly why a big part of me was relieved and is relieved that it appears that Rock is not in the picture because I think that would have been a great spectacle. But I really like the idea that in 10, 20 years, someone's first wrestling memory was this Bloodline angle and it didn't involve someone who was in, on Mania 16 or whatever. It's good to have pivotal major moments in that company that aren't reliant on guys of yesteryear. Now, look, don't get me wrong, all of the guys involved are veterans, unquestionably. But, I think it's a nice idea that this angle that everyone's listening is one of the best angles they've ever done is involving guys who are there. Now, Roman, obviously, he's kind of in a different way because he's not there every week, but he's the world's champion, ultimately. He feels like a today wrestler. And I just think that's good because let's be honest, for in recent years, WWE has been increasingly reliant on when the big time comes around, when it's the main season of the year, when it's WrestleMania, let's go back into the history books. And I think as great as that is, I think it's nice to these guys are, they're the stars of today. Maybe not tomorrow necessarily, but today, certainly. They're dominating the conversation. So
Right.
it's very, very cool. And I think that's a little thing that I actually liked about the Rumble too, to circle back. I don't think you need 101 surprises because, I mean, sometimes it says more about the roster when you don't need those surprises. So
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like the roster, like really just felt healthy.
Yeah.
And in a lot of these Rumbles, like it just felt like so many guys whose value has dropped drastically are coming out there. And they just all feel like damaged goods and like non-commodities, and then like you're waiting for like the pop of like a celebrity or a former guy. And like you said, man, Mania season every year they had to pull guys because no one's a fucking star, and no one was a star because everybody was just in the same 50-50 booking sandbox. And dude, when the Raw 30 rating came out of 2.3, I was like, that's very impressive. But I immediately assumed, I'm like, okay, so I'm guessing DX just popped a huge quarter or something. Right? That's what everybody thought. Like, oh yeah, they used the legends and Hogan popped this and that guy popped that. And then you check and it's like by leaps and bounds, the most watched thing on the show was the best thing on the show, which was the current story that they've been building to. Very encouraging. I'm honestly really curious how they're going to fill television in the post-Bloodline era, to be honest.
Yeah.
And if it's going to be stable, it might be. Is it going to be stable-driven? Is it just going to be like individual guys? How are they going to captivate people? Because this really has captured the attention of the entire wrestling world. I want to quickly touch on. Bro, I was getting messages from like people in the business about this whole thing. Like when that angle happened, like people were like it really, really went over well with like the boys of various companies and things like that. We even have, indie promoters and stuff and guys just kind of talking about how like, this is proof that we need to tell stories to draw tickets and this and that. And when you look at the trends of the business, right? Man, when you look at the trends of the business, I think the last decade has been dominated by like kind of GIF-oriented wrestling from like really exciting athletic talents being put together in like these pre-match situations for indie shows and stuff, right? And that really was the rage, and that really worked, right? And from what I see, it seems like a lot of these guys now are like they want to kind of dabble into this, and I don't think that's a problem because I think in the business you should study what works and emulate what works or take the right lessons from it. So I just think that's really interesting to see in terms of how this will influence the business. And I think if there's one thing we've learned in 2023 so far in wrestling is that angles are king, bro. Whether it be Will Ospreay standing up to Kenny Omega at the press conference, whether it be Kaito Kiyomiya and Okada facing off,
Manny, what was your star rating for Brian Pillman Jr. and Rouge?
5 on the squash meter.
5 on the squash meter.
Bro, I already moved on to bigger things right now, man. I found Nigel McGuinness versus Tyler Black. He got 4.5 stars.
This is what we do. I'm just watching Manny in the corner suffering, yeah, man. It's big business.
I know what I'm gonna watch now. And before that was Bryan Danielson versus Austin Aries. I got 4 stars too. I have a now that's what you call in the movies double booked, or was it what do you call it, Joe? Is it like when you have double feature, but I have a double match to watch?
Double booked. Yeah, big fan of you going with the Austin Aries match being thrown out there here in 2023. Respect, bro.
I think it's fair to say that the Cody Sami stuff, even lined up next to the Raw 30 Legends, it's pretty big business, and it's going to continue to be big business because it looks like Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns is going to main event Elimination Chamber, if we're to believe Dave Meltzer and a few other things that people have said. That's obviously going to be big business as well in Montreal, of all places. Probably expect Kevin Owens to come back around then. That's going to be like the heat in the building for that. It's going to be
spectacular,
fucking insane. Man, we've got like 5 minutes left. Probably sneak in a little bit of AEW chat. At least for Manny's sake, Can
I say something about Manny?
I want Manny to start because he's hardly fucking said anything.
About what?
Manny, just something to do with AEW this week or last week.
Oh, you guys want to talk about my AEW trade?
Yes.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
Bullshit,
I need to find it. Let's see.
You can't even remember it.
This is one of the worst tweets Manny has ever sent, and think of the ground that covers. Think of the tweets that covers.
Earlier in the group chat, while we're feeling dead air for money. Go on. Actually, go on. No.
I think they're cooking something outside. Okay, so Triple H. I added him. I said, at Triple H, how about I trade you Ricky Starks, Miro, Malachi, Buddy, Wardlow, and Hobbs for Seth Rollins or Roderick Strong? Nothing attached. We shake hands and call it a day. And if that isn't enough, at Triple H, I'll throw in MJF and Britt Baker.
So you in the initial tweet, you named 6 wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
6 wrestlers.
For 35-year-old Seth Rollins and Roderick Strong with a bat.
Hey, well, to be fair, all these guys in their 30s.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Guys, if I was Paul Levesque and Manny proposed that trade, I'm accepting before he even finishes what he's saying.
Yeah, that's a crazy deal. I don't know, man.
I don't want
to up there.
I don't want to name any of our top guys because I'm like, these are the guys I want to see. Tyler Black, Russell. So then I was just like, I'm just gonna throw a whole bunch of guys I don't want to I'll throw in Hobbs, even though I like Hobbs just to sweeten the pot.
What is this Tyler Black?
Sweeten the pot.
Bro, Joe, you know what it is? Manny gets on these kicks where he'll just run into a guy that he fixates on watching, right?
Yeah.
And so Manny decided, I'm going to fixate on Tyler Black matches. And he really enjoys Tyler Black. And he's like, isn't he still active? Oh, he's Seth Rollins. Bring him to AEW. And so he's decided
ridiculous that I've seen Manny do that with wrestlers, but to do it with Tyler Black, he's fucking
it's
insane.
a step too far.
It's really
bro.
funny.
It's a lot, Zetopia Productions $4.99. I started watching Surfer Sting last year. Vader Starcade 92 is a favorite. Goated babyface. See a lot of Sting and Cody. Can't wait for Roman Cody. The drama, man. Yeah.
I need Starcade 92. They need to recreate Gunter and Cody. Need to recreate the deal where Vader throws those punches, those clubbing punches.
Yeah.
And Sting does that fucking sell at Starcade 92 where he's swaying with each of them, and he's he's rocked against the ropes, like he's fighting Foreman. It's amazing.
The Vader, which is ironic because Cody went to a boxing training camp to get in shape for this Rumble, like a real wrestler. 2 questions I want to ask you guys about AEW. I'm assuming you guys seen Rampage. What do you guys make of Will Hobbs walking out with a literal book of Hobbs?
Bad. No. It's bad. It's bad, man.
Oh, you're not a fan.
It's very 1980s WWF and not in a good way. Brother's got an actual book, man. That's crazy.
Vince went on commentary there's Will Hobbs. He's grabbing the book of Hobbs.
Bro, it's Jericho. Jericho's the book of Hobbs.
That's definitely Jericho creative.
That's what I said.
Could you imagine
that he was putting it over on commentary as well? It's
you're right. That's definitely it. Yeah.
He's coming out with the book of Hobbs. The book of Hobbs.
Jericho's telling Tony it needs a gimmick, man. It needs something, man.
He's talking to Tony. He's like, I like Hobbs. He needs something though. Maybe a book.
Real quick, Ben Dixon, $2 Australian, appreciate it. This is to Manu. Worst tweet from anyone associated with WrestlePurists or Not Green.
Look, man, as soon as we get those 2 guys locked into AEW contracts, I'm going out there and calling Davey Richards and say, man, what are you doing this week on Wednesday? And then booking Davey versus Tyler Black, and then the co-main, Roderick Strong and Bryan Danielson.
Right. Well, that's some good shit. Speaking of good shit, Cody Rhodes is about to open up Monday Night Raw. So we're going to get out of here. Yeah, we're going to do Hooper of the Week. We got to do Hooper of the Week. We got traditions around here, even if it makes us a little late. Who gives a fuck? Okay. Hooper of the Week. Manny.
First, we're going to put the graphic of Nigel because, freaking Jamie. Oh, I mean, I already gave it up. But there you go. Jamie Hayter did a tower, and I popped hard, and I said, "You know what? This is the Hooper of the Week.
This is crazy."
And
dead, bro.
Why is he up there?
Why is he in this? He's not dead. He's what are we doing?
He's literally just.
Well, nobody's seen him.
Yeah.
Showtime Spurs. I agree.
Yeah. By the way, Hater and Emmy tore it up. Hater and Emmy was awesome, by the way. But yes.
Yeah,
it was incredible. It's the best women's match to happen.
And Mania.
And there you go.
Oh my god. Good lord, man. There's a lot going on here.
I also want to quickly just shout out Mark Briscoe for being Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, he's fucking best, man. The absolute best.
Man, of course. Obviously, we said a lot of it on Thursday. It was been like just obviously from the funeral service on Sunday. It's just that's a man that we can all aspire to look up to.
Absolutely.
In a situation like that, 100%. So I was talking. I can't remember. I was talking to my mum or girlfriend about it. Funny enough, it's like you look at Mark Briscoe and you're like, "Fuck it out," when you see his face, you're just like, "Whoa," Well, that's a real man right there,
And by the way, the story behind the white Nigel's in heaven is because somebody said somebody tweeted to me, "Nigel's not dead," and I said, "Oh yeah, how about this?" And I just tweeted, I made the graphic and I posted it.
Bro, Monty,
Raw is opening. Dead.
Yeah, that's crazy. Monty, Raw is opening with some nasty Cody Rhodes, like documentary footage of him just like staring into the sky.
Nothing nasty about it, I don't know what you're talking about. It's how you open Raw with the Royal Rumble winner,
Don't watch Raw. Everybody go watch The Last of Us.
Yeah, do what Manny said, I'm going to watch Raw, though. We've just lost about 50 viewers.
Holy shit. Niggas like, bro.
Yeah, let's get out of it. They know we're winding down as well, Please subscribe if you're still here and you haven't already. Shout out Late Not Green. Shout out Manny the Hooper. Shout out Joe Holbert. Shout out Ibu. Man, we're going to be working on the WrestleMania review series with Ibu. We're going to be working on some 2022 best of stuff. Man, we're going to be cooking. So please subscribe. Please like the video. Appreciate all the super chats so far. And we'll be back tomorrow with Don't Go Live, I believe. Peace.